So, in honor of Day of the Dead, which is a day of remembrance, remembering our past loved ones, we are touching on a particular creature from the Final Fantasy series. Um, he doesn't run, he doesn't roar, he just walks, and somehow that's way worse. Today, we're looking into the quiet horror of Final Fantasy's creature, the Tonberry, the soft voiced, slow moving, lantern holding symbol of every bad decision that's finally caught up to you. In the deep history of Final Fantasy, Toneberries weren't always monsters. Long ago, they were said to be Nymians, a peaceful, scholarly people devoted to knowledge and light. But when their civilization fell, consumed by greed, magic, and war, their spirits were twisted by resentment. The Nymians' wisdom curled into judgment. What rose from that ruin were the Toneberries, tiny cloaked reminders of consequence, carrying the light of what was lost and the knife of what was owed. Presiding over them is the Tonberry King, a symbol of collective memory, the embodiment of all Tonberries, wrath and wisdom combined. He isn't a ruler in traditional sense. He's a spiritual anchor, the consciousness of an entire species mourning its past. When summoned or angered, he doesn't fight alone. Every Toneberry under his light moves with a shared purpose, as if guided by one soul. In psychological terms, the Tonberry King represents the superego, or rather the hive mind of justice made divine, calm made absolute. If the Toneberry is calm as blade, the king is the weight behind it. Psychologically, the Toneberry is a fusion of two Jungian archetypes. The shadow, the repressed side of human nature, the part that never forgets pain or guilt, and also the hermit, wisdom gained through suffering, carrying truth even when it hurts. Together, they form the perfect symbol of consequence, quiet, enduring, and inevitable. Toneberries don't rage because rage fades after a while. They wait because truth does not. If we break them down through Freud's model, the id is the raw vengeance, instinctual and emotional. It's just one track mind. Ego, patience, walking, calculating, unhurried, weighing the risks, doing the math, watching the scales. The superego, the Tonberry King, collective justice, absolute morality without mercy. So, it's a twisted superego, but a superego nonetheless. Together, they form a being of perfect psychological balance, unfeeling yet fair, emotional yet also deliberate. The memories of the past and anger and pain, it make you want to go crazy and wild out. But the Tonberry King walks with each step methodically and sure of itself that I'm going to get you in the end anyway. Some of them do run. I've seen some run, but for the most part, they walk. And we can think of it as the world's slowest therapy session, but with a knife. Two symbols define the Tonberry's existence. The lantern, illumination, is the light of awareness, exposing guilt and truth. And then there's the knife, the consequence, small, personal, and final. The king's lantern burns brighter because it carries the sorrow of all Tonberries, an eternal beacon of everything that was lost and everything that they can't forget. What makes the Tonberry frightening isn't its violence, it's control. A therapist might call it frozen effect. emotional expression locked behind ritual. There's no rage in their steps, only purpose. They don't chase, they approach, because once they get in close, you're dead. The Tonberry King teaches one truth, that the past never truly dies. Every action leaves residue, every harm leaves a reflection. The Tonberries aren't evil, they're the universe behavioral reminder actions repeat until learned. In conclusion, he doesn't hate, he doesn't forgive, he simply remembers. The Tonberry walks for all of us, a lesson carved in patience, light, and quiet sureness. If you like this breakdown, hit the like. If you didn't like it, hit the dislike. Yeah, that's my take on the Tonberries and their king. I want to do a ode to Day of the Dead because, like I said, Day of the Dead is all about remembrance, and no one remembers better than a Tonberry. Let me tell you that. So, thanks for tuning in, and check out next time. This has been Cere'bror on Cog Mind Magic, and ta-ta for now.